Fire away.
What's new?
Why?
What's new?
So the word is out that Deshaun, explain your decision.
Deshaun is going to start against Jacksonville. Took in the full body of work over the course of off-season to training camp to the games, the joint practice, and ultimately felt like to start the season on the road, Deshaun gave us the best chance to move the ball and score points. I mean, that's really what it's about. And felt that way going in the last game, but wasn't sure. And after we talked as a staff, and after we re-looked at everything, we're going to go that direction.
It is time for some evening smoke. I am fresh off the road from Las Vegas. Spent the weekend at the Jeezy residency. The final show. It was amazing. But they added some dates. So if you're a young Jeezy fan, look up those dates, make your way to Vegas. But y'all didn't come for that. Y'all came for some smoke. Deshaun Watson is QB1. And that means Shedeur Sanders is QB2. The Cleveland Browns made it official today. Head coach Todd Monken has named Watson the starter for week 1 against Jacksonville. That Jacksonville, the one that has some bus playing for it. All right, let's put some smoke to it. Hey, I already know what's coming. Some of y'all are mad. Some of y'all are going to say Shedeur got robbed. Some of y'all are going to say Cleveland never really gave him a chance. And a lot of us are going to say Cleveland always gets this quarterback thing wrong. Because if we're going to talk about football, let's talk about football. Deshaun Watson is a veteran NFL quarterback. He's been to 3 Pro Bowls. He's led the NFL in passing. And the Cleveland Browns got 230 million guaranteed reasons to find out if there's anything left in that tank. So, I ain't saying I agree, but I am saying I understand. And there's a difference between understanding and agreement. But understanding the decision and believing this story is over are 2 completely different things. Because Todd Monken didn't just hand Deshaun Watson the football today. He handed him the pressure. All of it. And apparently, this wasn't some runaway competition either. This thing came down to Watson and Shedeur after an off season of competition. I want y'all to think about that. A 5th round pick entering year 2 versus a veteran quarterback with 230 million guaranteed, and we had a legitimate quarterback competition. That might tell me more about Shedeur Sanders than the depth chart does. And here's the other part. Deshaun just went out against the Buffalo Bills and completed 5 of 12 passes for 36 yards with an interception. And Cleveland booed that man loudly. Now imagine what happens if the regular season starts looking like that. Because Cleveland opens on the road against Jacksonville. Then they go on the road against Tampa Bay. And then week 3, Deshaun Watson comes walking back into that stadium in Cleveland. Woo, baby. You better be playing some damn good football by then. Because most of the popular players on the team is always the backup quarterback. That's always the most popular guy, the backup quarterback. And when the backup quarterback's name is Shedeur Sanders, every incomplete pass gets louder, every interception gets louder, every 3 and out gets louder. And every camera in that stadium is eventually going to find its way to number 2 standing on that sideline. But wait a minute. Can I remind y'all of something? Do y'all remember when Shedeur was behind Dillon Gabriel? Do y'all remember that? Because I do. I remember all those conversations. Shedeur can't get past Dillon Gabriel. Shedeur is buried on the depth chart. Shedeur might not even get his opportunity. They drafted Gabriel before Shedeur. What does that tell you? Blah, 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 blah. Where did all that talk go? Because by week 13 last season, Shedeur Sanders had leapfrogged Dillon Gabriel and was named the starter. And now, we ain't even talking about Dillon Gabriel in this quarterback competition anymore. The conversation became Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders. That's it. So before everybody starts writing the obituary of Sanders and QB1 on August 24th, remember we've seen this movie before. He doesn't necessarily win the job when you think he should win the job. He just keeps hanging around, keeps working, keeps preparing, and eventually the opportunity finds him. And now I'm going to give y'all my read. This ain't a report. This ain't telling you somebody slipped me some information. This is Uncle Neely watching the situation and telling you what I see. I believe Shedeur Sanders is Todd Monken's guy. There, I said it. I've watched the words, I've listened to the words, I've watched the interactions, I've watched the body language, I've watched how Monken talks about Shedeur. I've watched how he's coached him and approached him. I've watched how this quarterback competition has developed. Monken has publicly praised what he's seen from Shedeur, and reporting around camp has described Monken as pleased with Shedeur's approach. And my eyes keep telling me the same thing. Shedeur is Monken's guy. Now, if that's what I believe, then why is Deshaun Watson starting? Because there's football, and then there's math. And sometimes that calculator upstairs, they get a vote too. $230 million guaranteed. 3 first-round picks were originally traded to get him. Years invested in making this thing work, and now you're telling ownership, yeah, we're just going to put all that over there on the bench. That's not just a football decision. That's an organizational decision. That's a business decision, and I believe that's what we're looking at here. I think Cleveland needed to find out once and for all, what do we have left in that Deshaun Watson tank? Because if you're going to move forward from that investment, you better know. Not think, not wonder, know. So let him play. Give him the football. Let him answer the question. Because one or two things are going to happen. Deshaun Watson is going to ball, and Cleveland has itself a quarterback, or he won't. And if he doesn't, now Todd Monken can turn around and say, we gave it every opportunity, and that changes the conversation. But here's where I'm going to tell Shedeur folks something they may not want to hear. Leave that man alone. That man is in Shedeur. Don't start campaigning. Don't start screaming that Cleveland owes him something. Don't turn every Watson mistake into a Shedeur celebration. Shedeur's job right now is simple. Get better. Prepare like QB1. Study like QB1. Practice like QB1. Lead like QB1. And when that opportunity comes, be ready. Because Shedeur Sanders doesn't need Twitter to win this job for him. He needs his game to do it. And maybe sitting behind a veteran quarterback for a minute ain't the worst thing that could happen to a young quarterback in his second year. Remember something else. Shedeur has already been through this movie. Draft night, everybody has something to say. 5th round, everybody has something to say. Dillon Gabriel ahead of him, everybody has something to say. When will he finally play? Everybody has something to say. Then last season, he eventually got his opportunity and became the starter. So this ain't unfamiliar territory for Shedeur Sanders. He's been counted out before. So you say, well, when does Shedeur get his shot? Now that's the question. And Todd Monken is telling y'all this ain't a week-to-week decision. He's telling you Deshaun Watson is his quarterback. Oh, okay. I hear you, coach. I really do. But I'm going to put mine on the table, too. I said earlier that Shedeur will get his opportunity before this season ends. Let me tighten it up a little bit. I don't think we're waiting until the end of the season. I don't think we're waiting until November. I'm putting a marker down tonight. Before week 6. You heard me. Before week 6, I believe Todd Monken gets his guy. Not ownership in the accountant's guy, his guy. And that guy is Shedeur Sanders. So you could clip that, you could save it, you could put a date on it, August 24th, 2026. Because if I'm wrong, y'all know where to find me. But if I'm right, don't come back in October acting like nobody saw this coming. Because Unc saw it coming in August. Today, Deshaun Watson won the job. Give that man his credit. But QB1 being decided on August 24th doesn't tell us who will be taking snacks in October. That part gets decided on Sundays. So congratulations to Deshaun Watson. You got QB1 and Shedeur. Keep that helmet close because this is Cleveland. And if history has taught us anything, the quarterback story ain't over until the season is over. Matter of fact, I don't think we're going to have to wait that long. I got week 6 circled or before. So that's your evening smoke. And I ain't blowing smoke. I'm just telling you where I see the fire.